Well, it's 1 o'clock, Wednesday, July 8th. I just looked back to see when I contacted a landowner on this about cutting it. I cut this the 30th of June. In the morning. I was done before noon, I know that. At least I think it was in the morning. I don't know. Mom just ran the tedder rake through it for the second time, because really there hasn't been a lot of reason to. The first time we needed to just because it needed to get moved. It's been too long. Sun and wind are actually hitting here pretty good. I checked over there by that road sign, had 10.9% moisture, and I just checked right there. Sun comes up from that way, so this has been in the sun longer than over there. Right on 20%. So I'm going to check a few other spots, and some of you might be wondering how I'm getting an accurate test. I think it was in Hay and Forage years ago. Some guys made PVC balers. What they did though, they used bigger pipe. This is what we happen to have. And they put a screw-on cap on one end. Not really needed. There. Have bigger pieces open on both ends. You don't have to have a screw-on cap because you use the ground to pound against. Stuff your hay in there, which, like I say, this is smaller pipe than you're supposed to use, but you still get it packed. You still get the same readings. To kind of initially pack it, I use the open end of this one because you always got straw or hay in the way. And try to get that thing half full after it's packed. Finish packing with the end with the cap on it. Beat it down tight. Get it till it's half full. This last time I had it plenty tight. I almost couldn't get the probe into it. And put the probe on the front of the bike where I can't reach it. Once you got the hay in there, you get however far down and you hit the hay and push it into the hay, 4 or 6 inches, and hit the button and see what you get. It's about as accurate as you're going to get without having it in a bale. The biggest thing is make it tight. That's what we're doing. I actually made 2 of these. At the time, we carried one in each baler just because. I don't know where the other one is. I know it's not in the tractor, so. But that's what we do. I've done that for quite a few years now. I mean, if it's something you're not worried about, I don't worry about it. Come in, make a couple bales, and test the bale, but the baler's not here, it's at home. And of course, wouldn't you know it, the counter on it is scooched. Internal springs broke, so it won't reset. And our local store, local dealer, where we got it from, they don't have any. Other stores under the same dealership do. We'll have one Friday. So, funny they don't have one. And the store manager I was talking to, he looked the parts up for me and he says, I know we sell at least one of those a year. And I said, well, yeah, counters suck. The old ones I used to work on, they used to be screwed together. You could take them apart and fix them. New ones are all riveted. And you know what happens when you drill rivets out and it finally explodes on you? You don't know where any parts were. But anyway, I'm going to take a few more spots out here and see what they look like. I'm thinking the sun stays out and this little breeze, I'm thinking in a couple hours we might start baling. The 10% over there, I don't mind that at all. It's the 20% over here, and it only takes 1 or 2 bales at 18% or better to cause an issue. In case you're wondering, the road's right there, obviously. Literally, our driveway is straight through there, so I'm not very far from home. Makes it kind of nice, but at home, the sun hasn't been shining. It's been shining here, though. Go figure. Just the way the clouds break up. And they get more wind up here than we get down there. We're in a hole and they're out here in the open. Makes a big difference. So, see if we can get some bales sometime today. I hope. It's 2:30. Yeah, you probably can't. There you go. It lies. This one runs about 1/3 of what it says. I just checked 3 bales back there, and they are from 9.5% to 10.3% moisture. I'll check a few other spots around the field. Let's see, play with some buttons. Well, so much for doing that. I was going to see what my ground speed was, but on this tractor, the sensor has issues once in a while, so it needs to get reprogrammed. It says I'm doing 0. Reality, I'm probably doing 3.5, 4 miles an hour, somewhere in there. And you can see how far apart the bales are. And those bales are 80 to 85 pound bales, so won't take long. I'll have a bale wagon load. This piece is on a chair, so the landowner picks his part up, and I pick our part up. And I don't know if my wife or daughter number 2 will be out here running this. I usually start on the outside round, but I chose not to, just because coming in the field down there, it's kind of awkward to get onto the outside round. And I'd rather run the outside round the other direction, because the way we got our mirrors set up, that one is out much farther than this one. It's out farther to clear the door so you don't run into the mirror when you get in and out. And I don't like playing with the trees with the mirror, so I'll put this one toward them. And I'll have, well, at least 1.5 feet more room before I hit something. A little bit lighter back there, a little more distance between the bales. But down there along the road, that's actually about the right distance I like for picking up with the bale wagon, because you literally one right after the other. Unfortunately, our 2-speed in the rear end of the bale wagon doesn't work, so that kind of screws me for finding a better speed. Not sure why it doesn't work. It's been worked on, things have been replaced, rewired it, still don't know why. It's not mechanical, it's a new rear end. And I think I'll stop here and take another sample while I'm in a spot I can stop. Let's say these cases don't park on a hill. If I put it right there, no way I can get it out of park. But I can sit here on the flat. So I'm going to go do that. Get you some more later. Well, it's 20 minutes to 4 now. Landowner come out, cleaned up some of the mess in that corner. Got a few rounds done. Had 2 broken bales. He just scattered one out and he's just walking over to the other one. I appreciate that. He'll pick the twine up and spread it out a little bit so it'll bale easier. A whole lot easier than coming up on a solid one and having to dig the twine out. He's got a pitchfork, so works great for me. I was going to say something and I forgot what it was. Story of my life. I know one thing I was going to say. Some of this is a little on the tough side. When I checked, in fact, I checked after a couple rounds in a spot that was dry on the outside couple rounds. And I had 11% in 3 bales in a row. One bale had 11% and 9% in it, but in between was 28%. So that little tiny bit I'm really not going to worry about. See, this stuff's been down for 8 days. Been fluffed up twice. Ground's dry. It's cured. It's just there may be a little moisture left to it. And there is a difference between moisture and being cured. You really don't want too much moisture either way. It still can cause a problem. If it's not cured all the way out and your moisture's a little high, yeah, you're going to burn your barn down, even if you salt it good. And the old timers always used to say, bale it and leave it lay for a day or two. Let it go through a sweat. Well, we haven't done that in years. And we haven't left it lay unless we just couldn't get to it. And here's a little dust and a little smut coming out. See, my fan's plugged. This is the first year of the 1842. First year they put the fan there. On 4655s, the fan was dead on from the top, and they didn't plug. And now the brand new 1482s, the fan's in the same place, but they've got a reverser on them. And from what I've been able to find out, they automatically reverse every so often to blow the screen off. And I'm really tempted to take a good sharp pair of dikes and cut part of that screen out, because it's just too fine going in there. So, you know, I don't care if it blows some stuff through as long as it blows the stuff away. On the big baler, it's got a hydraulic drive squirrel cage that has runs a tube, and then it runs tubes into each knotter. It doesn't plug up near like this does. I mean, even if it plugs up, it still pulls air around, so it really doesn't care. But this one's right there where every single plunger stroke pushes crap up into it. And yeah, I know, some of you might say, well, you don't have the shield on there. Yeah. They put 2 holes in that shield that belongs over that arm. They're supposed to be for greasing it, but you cannot grease the plunger arm bearing, either end of it, if that shield is on it, because you'll never get it in the right spot. And I know guys that put the shield on and off depending on if they're doing hay or straw, and I know guys that did like I did, throw the shield away. It actually went in one of those loads of scrap here a while back. Yeah, it's there for a reason, but guess what? You're not supposed to be standing there if the machine's running. So if you're not standing there, you can't put your arm in the hole. And I don't know if you noticed, it's a little messed up back here in the windrows. That's the one drawback to the tedder rig. They don't corner well, and especially where this has been done twice now. And the little hill in this field makes it a little more difficult. Being a 3-cornered field makes it more difficult. And, you know, Mom gets on there and goes. She gets it done. The rest of these windrows are fine. I like this. That's a nice windrow to follow. And it's an even windrow compared to running a V-rig. And yeah, even though this guy spends 9 months out of the year trapping gophers, it's still dusty. You don't notice it near as much in the hay, but the equipment sure gets dusty while we're doing it. And if I get to it, I'll get you some bale wagon running. Of course, I'll be in it trying to film it, so you know, that's how that goes. But and I was going to have either number 2 or my wife bale, but number 2 is doing homework, and my wife headed up to pick up number 1 and take her in. She's having a little trouble with managing her pain today. So they said, well, bring her in. She's doing fine. She's just hurting, which is expected. So I'll probably call this good on this video. It'll be long enough. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And another quickie, thank you everyone for all your well wishes and prayers again. That's really awesome. She's been trying to answer everyone, and so have I. Really, really do appreciate it. So with that, thank you.